Hey everybody, we're going to be looking at the Thursday card, June 8th at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Horseshoe, Indianapolis is carded for 11 races. There's actually only 9 thoroughbred races that we'll be looking at today. What I'll be doing, my name's Dave. I'm with Thorostat. I'll be giving you top selections for this entire card, races 1 through 9. There is a late pick 4. I have a late pick four preview video also posted. Pop over to there to get that breakdown in the pick four. There is a single in that card as well in race 7 that I like here. But I give a top 3. I recommend playing those in either the top selection to win in place and then the top 3 in exactas and trifectas. Honestly, play them however you want, however you like, however you currently play. I play rolling pick 3s on big days, pick 4s, and mostly trifectas on the turf for additional value. But my goal here is to give you a little bit more insight, analysis, breakdown, and some horses you may not be comfortable typically using that I find with the angles I use as a tournament player. I play in the NHC. To be able to go through hundreds of races, it's virtually impossible for anyone to be able to look through all of those in a timely fashion. So I want to be more efficient, help you be a little bit more tactical and calculated in how to find these horses, or if there's a horse you like that I like, being able to play a single confidently and have some additional thumbs up and buy-in of like this horse does make sense in a sequence. So that's my goal here. We've got 10 races, or sorry, 9 races as I mentioned here on this Thursday card at Horseshoe. I'm going to jump right in though, and we're going to start with race 1. The opener Thursday at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. We're looking at 5.5 furlong claiming race here at the shoe on the main track. We've got 8 horses in the field. The early speed in this race is the 2, who is the morning line favorite, Dare Me. It's Steve Asmussen, owned and trained. That's our top selection here in race 1. Coming off of a couple week layoff. Steve is 16% off of a 1 to 2 month layoff. Horse hasn't run at Horseshoe though. But he is the owner trainer of this horse. Those horses, he is a little bit more. He's a very calculated trainer, but more calculated when it's his horse that he needs to win at. So coming up in class a bit from 10,000 non-winners to 2, 12.5 non-winners to 2. Cutting back in distance a bit. The horse did get caught with Keith aboard at Oaklawn last out. So at this level, it is the pace of the race, the early speed in the race. The other horses that I do like underneath of Dare Me, we've got the 1 and the 8. Our top 3 are the 2, Dare Me. The 1 is the late speed, and the 8 will press a bit, as you can see in this tactical pace scenario in Stats Race Lens. The 8, Awesome Lawson, to round out our top 4 or top 3. Our top selection though is the 2, Dare Me, odds on morning line, and will be probably 1 to 2, if not 4 to 5, on Thursday in the opener. And we're using the 2, 1, and 8 as our top selections here in the opener at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Horseshoe, Indianapolis, race number 2, 5.5 furlong maiden claiming event on the main track. We're looking at some lower class pace figures here only because of the level at which these horses are running $5,000 maiden claimings. The 5 is the early speed. I think it's going to be running pretty formful as it looks like on paper in the pace scenario. 5 goes out, 1 and 8 are going to be running for the money. The 5 though, Golden Dame, morning line 4 to 1 is my top selection. Third off of a layoff, came third last out, cutting back from 6 furlongs at the same level. Woo Woo Girl also in this race came by and passed that horse as well. This horse does have the most tactical speed, early speed of the race. So I think if this horse can get out with a half furlong less to run, Santos Sandra aboard, I see this horse winning for fun on the front end. Also has hit the board one time in the money out of 3 starts at Horseshoe. Dam is our Henny Penny is 40% in the money and 56% positive ROI. So the 5 is our top selection. The 1 and the 8, as I'll show you here, are the other pace pressing horses. The 8's the late speed. The 1 will sit off it a bit and has some tactical early speed as well. But the 5, I think, can beat these 2 morning line favorites, the 8 and the 1. The 5 is our top selection, Golden Dame. The 8, Pepper Sweet, and the 1 Woo Woo Girl, also back out of that same race with Golden Dame to round out our top 3. Top 3 again, 5, 8, and 1, race 2 at Horseshoe. Horseshoe Indianapolis race 3, mile and a 16th on the turf, maiden special weight event, and we're looking at the 12 horse field. There's 13 horses. I think the 13 will scratch out. If that does happen, the 1 Storm Bay and the 12 are King's Mistress are the front end speed here. When we scratch the 13 out, you can kind of see the pace scenario here a bit more. The 1 is second time starter, second time Lasix. I will be using that underneath. Morning line is 9 to 2. But my top selection is going to be the 11, who does have late pressing speed. In this longer race, if the 1, 12, and I think 3 go out and duel each other out, and guns blazing on the front end pace, I see there being an issue up front in this 11 closing into it. The 11 did run back in December. It's been off of a layoff for a bit on the all-weather. Came from about the 11 in 11th, 10th, and closing the third, hit the board at Turfway Park. Added a bullet work on the all-weather, 1 of 6. Not too bad of a work also on the all-weather. Unproven dam, but it is a Kitten's Joy dam bred to English Channel, who should like the longer turf run here. Here at a mile and a 16th. I think the pedigree itself is classy enough for this horse to mix it up a bit on the front end. I'm going to take the 11 as a long shot here. Southampton Dock with those changes off of a layoff here for Ian Wilkes, 17%. 25% with the jock, 404% positive ROI together with Yoel Navas aboard. So we're going to go with a long shot here to run down only because this turf does run pretty squirrely sometimes. I see a long shot winning this maiden special event at a morning line of 20 to 1, running down the 1 Storm Bay and the 12 also at a little bit of a price. King's Mistress underneath. I like the 11, 1, and 12, race 3 at Horseshoe, Indianapolis on Thursday. Horseshoe, Indianapolis, race 4, 5.5 furlong allowance event on the main track. Not going to spend too much time here on this race. It is pretty formful. My top 3 selections are 5, 4, and 1. Our top selection is Ease Magic, the morning line 4 to 5 favorite. The 5 does have the speed of speed, the class of class in this allowance race. I'm going to show you just real quick, and I'm not going to talk about the rest. Second off of a layoff for Mike Maker and Fernando de la Cruz. Had come second in a allowance, $30,000 optional, claiming non-winners of 2 lifetime, and just will be able to guns blaze on the front end. He's been training at Keeneland, so Mike does keep this horse at Keeneland, it looks like. And ships in. So I see this horse winning by about 2 or 3 lengths in the end. It's just going to be tough to run down. The rest of the horses, the class and pace is not that much to write home about in this Indy bred event. The 4 Anita and the 1 Allie Mae's Revenge are just the best of the rest, honestly. 9 to 2 and 12 to 1 on the morning line. So 5, 4, and 1 are our top selections here in race 4 at Horseshoe on Thursday. Horseshoe Indianapolis race 5, an allowance event, mile and 16th on the turf. We've got 11 horses carded for this race, and we're looking at my top 3 selections. It was pretty hard for me to narrow down to a top 3, only because there's some horses that scratched out of a race that I liked last week, and I think almost bought the field in the pick 4 before the whole card was scratched. The 5, though, is the tactical speed in this entire race. Cherie DeVoe shipping in, broke its maiden on the all-weather. I think it does have the best speed and pace advantage, just total speed of this field. Jenny Lynn's a late runner. Should be running and closing into the 5. I think the 5 could walk the dog on the front end. As you see the pace scenario set up here. And I like the 9 French Cuffs underneath as well. The 9 is, let me just jump over to the PPs real quick. The 9 is coming off of an allowance race where Santo was able to run down from fifth, about 5 lengths back, come second by a length and 3/4. The Dam does have some runners that hit the board in the money, and I think with a little bit longer, this strong mandate filly should be able to if not hit and make the exotics a little spicy, should be able to win this race as well. But I like the five's tactical speed here. I think the nine will go off about 7 or 8 to 1, and I definitely think that the favorites, the 11 Helen's Well, who was drawn in, also was scratched earlier in the week, as well as there was someone else here. The nine will take some money too, but I think beating this 11 is pretty easy with how the pace and field is set up now compared to last week. So I'm going to go with long shots here. The 5, 6, and 9 are my top selections in race 5 at Horseshoe on Thursday. Horseshoe Indianapolis, race 6. We are looking at a 5.5 furlong maiden claiming event going 5.5 furlongs, maiden claiming $10,000 event on the main track. Our top selections are 3, 5, and 10. The 10 does have a ton of speed. I'm using the 4, I believe, in the pick 4, but we'll talk about that later on another video. The 3 is our top selection, though, Indy Biz. The 3 is coming off of a bit of a layoff, but did have a bullet work on the 22nd here at Horseshoe. Getting Deshaun Parker aboard. Deshaun and Aaron West are 50% wins and a pretty significant positive ROI together. The 5 is the late pace. They'll be running in and pressing the 3. Barnstormer is the morning line favorite, and the 10 is the other early tactical speed, second to no one, who I think will be running and pressing the 3 on the front end. If we do get beat, it'll be by the morning line favorite Barnstormer, who we're using underneath. But the 3 Indy Biz with that late speed is and that bullet work is my top selection. 5 and 10, 3, 5, and 10, top 3 here. Horseshoe Indianapolis, race number 6. Horseshoe Indianapolis, race 7, maiden special weight, 7.5 furlongs on the turf in this maiden special weight event. My top selection and my single in the pick 4 is the 10 Argon. And we'll pop over third off of a layoff, Fausto Gutierrez, going dirt to turf, going a little bit longer. Not quite a route, but it is a 2-turn race. First time turf for Fausto is 27% and a 219% positive ROI. Catching Marcelino Pedroza aboard, making the switch to the turf is the entire pace in this race. I see Marcelino just going and playing catch me if you can on the front end. I don't think any horse in this race will be able to catch, any of these fillies be able to catch the 10, but the 4 and the 5 were interesting for me. The 4 is a morning line favorite, first time starter, getting John Court, Doug O'Neill shipping in with his Good Magic filly, first time starter. And the 5 we're also going to use underneath, which is first time starter Oscar Performance. Had a bullet work at Keeneland on the 12th for Jonathan Thomas and Augustin Stable. They're shipping in to break the maiden. But I think the 10 is going to hold off the 4 and the 5 with just this pace that this 10 has. And the 2 races they've already run. Fausto making the surface switch. 10, Argon, top selection. The 4, Magic Tip. And the 5, Beyond Oscar underneath. 10, 4, and 5 in race 7. Horseshoe Indianapolis, race 8. It's pretty formful for me. I'm not going to waste too much time here. The 2, 6, and 7 are our top 3 selections. The 2, Yak, is our top selection in this $5,000 claiming race on the main track going a mile. The 2 is the total pace and speed here in this race. The 6 and 7 are the front end speed, going to go out and press each other on the front end. Carl Broberg is going sprint to route and 16% when he makes that move. So I think Broberg will win this race running down the 6 and the 7 on the front end here. The 6, Dr. Foreman, and the 7, who also will be able to press the 6 a little bit later, Copper King, is our third selection. 2, 6, and 7 here in race 8 at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Horseshoe, Indianapolis, race number 9, the final thoroughbred race on Thursday. 5 furlong sprint, maiden claiming on the turf. The 7 is the early speed, Grace Candy. The 7 is my top selection. Has a bullet workout on the 27th at the training center. The Dam does have 33% in the money, but has had multiple bullet works here, 1 of 12 over the course of the last few weeks at the training center. Does have the late speed, has run on the turf previously. I think the surface switch from all weather at Gulfstream to turf for this McLean's Music filly will benefit the filly. McLean's Music is 13% winners and 38% in the money, but I think the baked-in bullet works here recently have this horse geared up to be able to win this race on the front end here in this turf sprint. I'm using the 4 underneath in the who's the favorite. The 4 should be running late. This French bred Ballydove should be running. And the 1 is a long shot to round out our exotics here. Midnight XO, I like as well, who had a decent work at Ellis Park. Also had a bullet work, 1 of 2, back on April 26th after this race. So this horse is training pretty well. Is the only other late running speed here. Has run an Indy before. Just hasn't been able to get off the schneid here on the turf. So I like as a price around that our top 3. The 1, Midnight XO. 7, 4, and 1 is our top 3 in the finale here at Horseshoe, Indianapolis on Thursday. Thanks again for watching. My name's Dave. I'm the creator of Thorostat. Follow us on Twitter at Thorostat. Follow us on and subscribe to our channel at Thorostat on YouTube. Like this video. We've got the late pick 4 as well video. It's a $30 ticket. Go watch that. And good luck on Thursday at Horseshoe, Indianapolis if you're playing. And let's cash some tickets here at the Horseshoe on Thursday.